Wow, it's such a blessing to be alive today, and I'm grateful for that. I also hope you are grateful as well. So, the day has given us an opportunity for us to learn something different this day, and I will be taking us through the series of this very learning. And this day, we are going to be looking at the topic which says industrialization. Industrialization is the topic we'll be considering this very day. Now, permit me to just do a brief introduction of the word industrialization. Whenever you hear a word ending with something like "shun," what that is trying to tell you is that it is a process. So it means that it is a process that is extending from something. And before we can have the word industrialization, we must have had the word industry. Also, we can have the word industrialized. Then we can also have the word industrialization. So that is trying to tell us this day that industrialization is the process by which a country that is mainly dependent on primary products moves towards becoming a manufacturing country. So industrialization is a process by which a country moves away from depending on just primary products and manufacturing its own products. Now, like I said earlier on before now, that industrialization has certain terms attached to it. So I am going to discuss the terms with us this very day. Now, the first term you'll be find in industrialization is called plant. Now, what is a plant? A plant is said to be a building or a machinery or a tool that is used in manufacturing some articles or carrying out some other industrial processes. You are going to be seeing an example of plant as we go on, but just add that in your memory. Then another term we need to talk about is firm. What is a firm? A firm can be defined as an independent business unit that carries out production, distribution of goods and services, and it is under a single management. Then another term we are going to be talking about is the word industry. When we talk about industry, industry relates to a group of firms that are producing similar commodity for the same market. Take for example, you have the communication industry, and who are the makeup of the communication industry? You have the service provider, you have the Glo, you have the Etisalat in Nigeria, you have Airtel, you have MTN. Then you also have all other telecommunication providers like the Swift, like the Intercoms, and the rest. So when you look at this, they are producing the same commodity, that is, they are rendering telecommunication services to the masses, and we group them together and we call them what? Communication industry. Then you can also have transportation industry, and you'll be looking at those ones that operate in the aviation sector. You have the ones that operate in the road sector, talking about the vehicular movement. Then you also have the other aspect of it as well. So that is an industry for you. Now, a firm, I said a firm is an independent business unit that produces goods and services and is under a single management. And you can have examples of firm in this place. You have the law firm, you have the firm of architects, you have marketing firm. Then you also have a petroleum firm, talk about the ExxonMobil, you talk about the Total and the rest. Then we also have a picture of a plant before you. I said a plant is a place or a building or a machinery that where production of goods and services takes place. So this is an example of a firm, a cement firm, a petroleum firm. You can also have an example of the a milling firm. Plant rather. Those are examples of plants. Then talk about that of industry. This is an example of industry, that is companies producing similar commodities, but they are servicing the same market. So that is that about the intro aspect of industrialization. Now we'll be moving ahead and we are going to be considering what are the rules of industrialization in an economy. We want to see what is the beauty that industrialization brings into a country. Number one thing industrialization does is that what? It helps in the improvement in the standard of living and the quality of life of the people in the country. By virtue of being industrialized, a country stands the benefit of its citizens having a higher standard of living. That is number one. Number two, industrialization also helps to create employment opportunities. When industries are set in place, what happens is that what? Avenues will be created for people and they can be gainfully employed, and this will improve their standard and quality of life as well. Then also industrialization helps in the diversification of the economy. It ensures that the economy is not a stereotype one. It is not a mono economy, but it is an economy that has different avenues in generating income. Then also it aids technological development. By virtue of industrialization, more technology will be imported into a country and the country will grow technologically. Then also it helps to generate foreign exchange earning. When a country is industrialized, it produces goods that even outweigh its needs, and these goods can be sent to other countries, and by virtue of that they are going to generate some revenue. Then also it helps a country to reduce its dependence on other countries. Industrialization will prevent a country from depending on other countries in terms of depending for aids or looking for loans abroad. That is one of the benefits of industrialization. Then you can see a picture here. This picture is talking about a country that has been diversified. You can see the country is into agriculture, the country is into service, the country is into telecommunication, there is technological advancement, is into service, and is into manufacturing. So it helps a country to prevent being monotonized, that is, it depending on just one sector for its income. Then another benefit you can see here is economic growth. Economic growth in sense of the GDP. The GDP of the country, that is the gross domestic product of the country, will continue to rise by virtue of it being industrialized. And when this economic growth is sustained over a period of time, it helps the country to translate the growth into what we call economic development. Economic development is also one of the benefits of industrialization. And when we talk about economic development, we are talking about economic growth that is sustained over a period of time and improvement in all other areas of the economy, like the literacy level will increase, the infrastructural level will also increase, the standard of living of the people will increase, and at the same time, the healthcare facility of the people will also increase. Now, let me also say at this junction that you can also have another benefit of industrialization. And what is that very benefit? That is captured here. This means that what? Industrialization helps to attract foreign investors. You can see from this place, investors are trooping to a country because they want to cash on the opportunities that lie in that very country. And this is what industrialization helps to bring to a country. Then when we talk about another benefit again is employment opportunities. Like I said earlier on, it helps to ensure that people are gainfully employed, because when industries are sited, there will be different slots for people to fill in and to get employed. So that is also a benefit of industrialization. And we also be looking at the problems. Now, however, the benefit of industrialization can be, we can also have the problem that industrialization also brings to an economy. Now, what are the problem of industrialization? Why Nigeria has not been able to attain being industrialized over time? Number one of it is that there is shortage of skilled manpower. Now, you may want to disagree with me in this respect, but I will let you know that Nigeria has abundant labor, but Nigeria does not have enough skilled manpower. And as a result of this, attaining industrialization has not been easy for Nigeria over time. Then also we have shortage of capital is also another major hindrance in the way of Nigeria being industrialized. That is, capital are not always available for organization or for individuals to venture into industry or certain industries. Then we also want to look at political instability. Over time, a government have come in with its own plan, and for the plan to be repealed or to be overturned by another government that is also coming in. So there have not been consistency of policy, and that is why the industrialization progress in Nigeria has been stalled. Then also we have inadequate infrastructural facilities such as good road network, such as stable power supply, such as all other amenities like the social amenities are not also in place to assist the country in achieving its industrialization goal. Then we also have low level of technological development. That is also another major hindrance to the industrialization progress in Nigeria. Then we have the large population of the country. Then also we have over reliance of the country on other countries. That these are the bane of industrialization in Nigeria. And you can see in this very chart here as one of the problem of industrialization, why Nigeria has not been able to attain its industrialization policies over time, despite the government challenging quantum amount of resources to these very areas. Then let's talk about the problems, or rather the disadvantages of industrialization. As you can see from this video, one of the disadvantages of industrialization is that it is a major target during war. When two countries are about going into war, in order to incapacitate the other country, they will definitely go into areas where the industries are sited, and they demobilize them to ensure that the country is not stabilized. Then another problem or disadvantage of industrialization is that what? It leads to pollution. You can see pollution in this very regard, whereby gases are being exposed into the air, and you know this will deplete the ozone layer. Though industrialization has benefits, yet it also has disadvantages as well. Then let us quickly consider what are the measures that have been put in place by the Nigerian government to ensure that the industrialization policy of it is being enhanced. Number one is what we call reduction in company income tax, or granting of tax holiday. For the country to attract or to encourage industrialization, the Nigerian government has one way or the other granted tax holiday. When we talk about tax holiday simply means that companies don't get to pay tax for a specific period of years. Then we also have reduction in import duties. Import duties are the duties that are imposed on goods that are coming from other countries, and the Nigerian government has always tried to reduce the import duties on raw materials because these are necessary or are needed by the industry. Then we also have the provision of infrastructural facility. I told you that one of the problem of industrialization in Nigeria is lack of infrastructural facility. Then the granting of loan is another avenue that the government has utilized in ensuring that the country rather moves towards industrialization. Then we also have the creation of industrial estates. Industrial estates are places that are cited for the purpose of industry. You have the Ikeja Industrial Estate, you have the Ilopeju Industrial Estate. Another measure that has been put in place by the government is the establishment of industries by the government itself. The government sometimes move towards establishing industries in order to complement that which individuals are doing. Then we also have the training centers are being made available to ensure that the industrialization policies of the government are achieved. So I want to believe over time you guys have enjoyed the video series, and it has been packaged and put together by Akini Yola, and I hope to continue to have your attention as time goes by. Thank you for your time. It's a wonderful session with you all.